adventure away with how to play. And today we're going to play Sushi Go by Gamewright. This game is for 2 to 5 players, ages 8 and up, and takes about 20 minutes to play. First thing, you're going to want to get familiar with your cards. There are 8 different cards that are present in the deck. You have your yellow cards that are individual pieces of nigiri. You have your red cards that are the maki rolls. And pay attention to the number of maki rolls pictured at the top of the card. We also have the sashimi, pudding, tempura, dumpling, and chopsticks. So the object of the game is to get the most points. And you're going to be playing 3 different rounds. So you might want to write down how many points you have in each round. To start off, you're going to deal cards to all your players. And it depends on how many players you have is how many cards that you deal to each player. So if you have a game of just 2 players, you would deal out 10 cards to each. If you have a game of 3 players, you would deal out 9 cards to each. And if you had a game of 4 players, you would give out 8 cards to each, and so on. When you get your cards, you're going to take a look at them. And you're going to choose one card from that hand that you would like to keep. Remember, you're trying to get the most points. So the point values are at the bottom of each card. For instance, 2 tempura cards equal 5 points, but 1 tempura card is worth no points. The dumpling card is worth more the more dumpling cards that you accumulate. If you have 3 sashimi cards, that equals 10 points. But if you only have 2 sashimi cards, it's worth nothing. If you have the most maki rolls, you get 6 points. You have to pay attention to the number of makis pictured on the top of the card. That will determine who has the most maki rolls. Everyone's turn is simultaneous. You take a look at your hand, you pick a card, lay it face down on the table, then you take your remaining hand of cards and pass it on to the player at your left. Then everyone reveals their card that they have chosen, and that it remains in front of the player. Then you would take the next hand of cards and choose another card in the same fashion, placing it face down on the table. After you have gone through all of the cards and there are no more cards to pass, then you count up how many points each player has. You're going to do this 3 times. The chopstick card allows you to swap the chopstick for 2 cards. So if you get a hand and you see 2 cards that you really want to keep, you can swap in your chopstick to take 2 cards out of that hand. The wasabi must be laid first, and then you'll want to lay a nigiri on top of it. That triples the amount of points that nigiri is worth. At the end of the round, you're going to want to score all of your cards except for the pudding cards. Hold on to them till the very end of the game. Then you'll score all the pudding cards together from the 3 different rounds. And stashing them, and then passing it to the person to your left.